Have you ever felt a sudden, unexplainable shift, like the life you've always known no longer fits? Carl Jung, the master of depth psychology, would say this isn't a crisis, it's a sacred signal that your soul is rising. In this video, we'll uncover 9 hidden signs that your soul is awakening, drawing on Jung's profound wisdom about individuation and spiritual transformation, from vivid dreams that feel like messages to a hunger for meaning that nothing shallow can satisfy. These signs reveal you're on a path to becoming your truest self, even if no one told you. Through real-life stories, Jungian insights, and practical steps, we'll guide you on this mystical journey of self-discovery. Whether you're feeling lost or simply curious about the changes within, this video will help you see the beauty in your inner unraveling. Let's explore these signs together. At Jung Psyche Hub, hit play and discover how many resonate with your soul's quiet ascent. The first sign your soul is rising often creeps in quietly. Like a whisper you can't ignore, it's a strange disconnect from the life you've always known. Suddenly, the routines, roles, and relationships that once felt like home start to feel foreign, as if they belong to someone else. Carl Jung, the pioneer of depth psychology, saw this as the beginning of individuation, a sacred unraveling where your soul begins to shed the layers that no longer serve you. It's not a breakdown, it's a spiritual threshold, a moment where the life you've built clashes with the truth stirring inside you. You might feel an emptiness that logic can't soothe, a hollow ache that lingers despite your achievements, whispering, "This isn't you anymore." Consider Alex, a 35-year-old marketing manager from Chicago. On paper, his life was perfect: a stable job, a sleek apartment, a packed social calendar. But one morning, as he sat at his desk staring at a spreadsheet, a wave of emptiness washed over him. The goals he'd chased for years, promotions, status, the approval of his peers, suddenly felt meaningless. He looked around at his carefully curated life and thought, "Who am I doing this for?" Carl Jung would say this is the soul pulling you inward, urging you to let go of the persona, the mask you've worn to fit into society's expectations. Alex's disconnect wasn't failure. It was the first tremor of awakening, a sign that his soul was ready to reclaim its authenticity. This feeling can be unsettling, even disorienting, but it's a sacred invitation to align with your true self. Start by paying attention to where you feel out of place. Is it your job that drains you? A friendship that feels forced? Or a daily routine that leaves you numb? Take a moment to journal about this emptiness. What feels misaligned in your life right now? What's missing that your soul might be craving? These questions can help you hear your soul's quiet voice, guiding you toward a more authentic path. This disconnect isn't the end. It's the beginning of something profound. Have you felt this strange shift in your own life lately? Stay with us as we uncover the next sign of your soul's ascent. As your soul begins to rise, you might notice a second sign, a deep craving for solitude over the shallow connections that once filled your days. Carl Jung taught that individuation, the journey to your true self, often requires withdrawing from the collective noise to hear your inner voice. Suddenly, the small talk, the crowded parties, and the surface-level friendships that used to excite you feel draining, even suffocating. You're not becoming antisocial. Your soul is longing for authenticity, for connections that resonate with the deeper you. Take Lily, a 28-year-old graphic designer from Seattle. She used to love weekend brunches and late-night parties with her friends, but lately, she's been declining invitations. One Saturday, she skipped a group outing to sit alone by the lake, sketchbook in hand, feeling more at peace than she had in months. The laughter and chatter of her old social circle started to feel hollow, like they were connecting with a version of her that no longer exists. Carl Jung would say, This is the soul outgrowing relationships built on the persona, the mask you wear to belong. Lily's craving for solitude wasn't isolation. It was a sacred step toward rediscovering her authentic self. This shift can feel lonely at first, but it's a powerful sign of growth. Embrace this craving for solitude by setting aside time to be alone, whether it's a quiet walk, journaling, or simply sitting with your thoughts. Use this space to ask yourself, what kind of connections do I truly need now? Who in my life sees the real me? As you honor this need for depth, you'll start attracting relationships that align with your evolving soul. Carl Jung believed that true connection begins when you're whole within yourself, not when you shrink to fit others' expectations. Have you been craving more solitude lately? Pulling away from shallow interactions? Let's move to the next sign to see how your soul is guiding you further on this journey. The third sign your soul is rising is the sudden appearance of synchronicities, those eerie coincidences that feel too meaningful to be random. Carl Jung coined the term synchronicity to describe these moments when outer events mirror your inner transformation, acting as a bridge between your psyche and the universe. You might notice repeating numbers like 111 or 444 on clocks or license plates. Or a stranger might say exactly what you needed to hear at the perfect moment. These aren't accidents. They're messages from your unconscious, signaling that your soul is aligning with a deeper truth. Consider Mark, a 40-year-old accountant from Denver. He'd been feeling stuck in his career, wondering if he should pursue his passion for photography instead. One day, while journaling about his fears, he looked up and saw 111 on his clock 3 times in a row that week. Later, at a coffee shop, a stranger complimented his camera and said, "You look like someone who captures the world's beauty." Mark felt a chill. It was as if the universe was speaking directly to him. Carl Jung would say this is the unus mundus at work, the unified field where psyche and matter converge, guiding you through symbols and meaning. Synchronicities like these are your soul's way of saying, you're on the right path. To engage with them, start a synchronicity journal. Write down these moments, noting the symbols, numbers, or events that catch your attention. Reflect on what they might mean for you. Does 111 signal a new beginning? Or does a butterfly remind you of transformation? Carl Jung emphasized that these signs aren't commands but confirmations, helping you trust your inner journey. Don't overthink them. Just stay open to their guidance. Over time, you'll notice patterns that deepen your connection to the unseen forces at play. Have you experienced synchronicities that felt like messages from the universe lately? Let's dive into the next sign to uncover more ways your soul is waking up. The fourth sign your soul is rising is a growing hunger for deeper meaning, a restlessness that makes the shallow distractions of modern life feel empty. Carl Jung saw this as the soul awakening from the trance of societal expectations, rejecting the superficial in search of something real. You might find yourself bored by endless scrolling on social media, uninspired by the same television shows, or disconnected during conversations that lack depth. Achievements like a promotion or a new car, which once brought excitement, now leave you untouched, as if your soul is whispering, there's more to life than this. Take Emma, a 32-year-old lawyer from Boston. She used to thrive on her fast-paced career and the validation it brought, but lately, she's felt a quiet ache inside. One evening, she turned off her phone, lit a candle, and picked up a book on Carl Jung's teachings about the collective unconscious. For the first time in years, she felt truly alive, as if she was reconnecting with a part of herself she'd forgotten. Carl Jung would say, this hunger is the soul's call to return to its source, to seek authenticity over approval. Emma's shift wasn't about rejecting success. It was about redefining what fulfillment means to her evolving self. This craving for meaning is your soul's way of pushing you toward a more intentional life. Start by exploring what truly nourishes you. Maybe it's reading about psychology, meditating, or studying ancient myths that resonate with your inner world. Replace one shallow habit like mindless scrolling with a soulful ritual, such as a morning meditation or a walk in nature. Ask yourself, what makes me feel truly alive? What truths have I been avoiding? Carl Jung believed that meaning isn't found in external validation, but in aligning with your inner purpose. As you feed this hunger, you'll start to feel a deeper connection to yourself and the world around you. Have you felt this restless longing for something more meaningful lately? Let's uncover the next sign to see how your soul is guiding you further on this transformative path. The fifth sign your soul is rising is the emergence of vivid, symbolic dreams that feel like messages from a deeper part of you. Carl Jung called dreams the royal road to the unconscious, a space where your soul speaks in metaphors when your waking mind is too distracted to listen. As your soul awakens, your dreams become more intense, strange, or emotionally charged, sometimes leaving you in awe. Other times shaken, you might see recurring symbols, like a snake or a bridge, or wake up with a phrase echoing in your mind, knowing it holds a truth you can't yet grasp. Take Noah, a 29-year-old teacher from Portland. He started having recurring dreams of a snake chasing him through a dark forest, waking up in a cold sweat each time. At first, he dismissed them as stress, but the dreams kept coming. One night, he journaled about the snake and realized it mirrored his fear of confronting a toxic relationship he'd been avoiding. Carl Jung would say the snake was an archetype of transformation, urging Noah to face his shadow, the parts of himself he'd repressed. Those dreams weren't random. They were his soul guiding him toward healing and growth through individuation. These vivid dreams are your unconscious knocking on the door of your awareness, asking you to listen. Start a dream journal each morning. Write down what you remember, focusing on symbols, emotions, and recurring themes. A house might represent your psyche, a storm, your inner turmoil, or a bridge, a transition you're facing. Ask yourself, what is this dream trying to show me? Carl Jung taught that dreams aren't meant to be feared but integrated. They're psychic revelations pointing you toward wholeness. If a dream feels unsettling, like Noah's, don't shy away. It might be highlighting something you're ready to face. Over time, you'll start to see your dreams as sacred companions on your journey. Have you had vivid dreams that left you wondering about their meaning recently? Let's explore the next sign to see how your soul continues to speak. The sixth sign your soul is rising is a newfound ability to face fear with spiritual courage, a willingness to step into the unknown despite the trembling in your heart. Carl Jung taught that true growth through individuation demands sacrifice, often requiring you to let go of illusions, outdated identities, or roles that no longer fit. This process isn't easy. It brings fear, uncertainty, and the pain of loss. But as your soul awakens, you feel a deeper voice urging you to keep going, even when the path feels shaky. Carl Jung called this the death of the ego, a necessary unraveling to make space for your true self to emerge. Consider Sophie, a 45-year-old nurse from Austin. For years, she stayed in a corporate job that paid well, but left her drained, too afraid to pursue her dream of opening a holistic wellness center. One day, after a particularly exhausting shift, she felt a quiet clarity. She couldn't keep living a life that wasn't hers. Despite her fear of financial instability and judgment from her family, she quit her job and took the leap. Carl Jung would say, Sophie's courage wasn't recklessness. It was a sacred act of alignment, her soul refusing to shrink back into a life of survival. That leap marked the beginning of her transformation. As she started to feel more alive than ever, Facing fear with spiritual courage means honoring the discomfort as part of your growth. Start by identifying one thing you've been avoiding out of fear. Maybe it's a conversation, a career change, or ending a relationship that no longer serves you. Write down your fears. Then ask, what would my life look like if I moved through this? Carl Jung wrote, only boldness can deliver us from fear. So take one small step toward that change. Even if it feels daunting, each act of courage brings you closer to your authentic self, proving that fear isn't your enemy. It's a threshold to cross. Have you felt the pull to face a fear recently? Even if it scares you, let's explore the next sign to see how your soul continues to lead you forward. The seventh sign your soul is rising is a profound shift from living through your ego to being guided by yourself, a deeper, more authentic part of you. Carl Jung described the self as the unifying center of your psyche, the sacred axis that integrates your conscious and unconscious mind. When this shift happens, you start to let go of the need for external validation, control, or rigid identities. The roles you once clung to, like the achiever, the people pleaser, or the perfectionist, begin to feel like heavy costumes you're ready to shed. Instead, you feel a quiet, grounded presence within, guiding your choices with resonance rather than fear. Take Ethan, a 38-year-old software developer from San Francisco. For years, he chased promotions and praise at work, tying his worth to how others saw him. But after a burnout, he started meditating daily, and something shifted. He stopped obsessing over being the top performer and began asking, does this feel true to me? He turned down a high-pressure project that didn't align with his values, choosing peace over applause. Carl Jung would say Ethan was moving from ego consciousness to self-awareness, where the need to prove himself faded, replaced by a calm certainty in his own worth. This shift isn't about apathy. It's about living from a place of inner wholeness. You can nurture this shift by practicing mindfulness. Take a few minutes each day to sit quietly, breathe, and listen to your inner voice. Notice when you're acting out of ego, seeking approval or avoiding discomfort, and gently redirect yourself with a question, what feels authentic to me right now? Carl Jung believed the self holds space for contradictions, allowing you to embrace both strength and softness, clarity and mystery, without forcing resolution. As you lean into this inner guidance, you'll find a peace that doesn't depend on external outcomes. Your decisions will feel more aligned, your life more meaningful. Have you noticed a quiet shift away from needing validation lately? Let's explore the next sign to see how your soul's journey continues to unfold. The eighth sign your soul is rising is a profound, often unexpected feeling of the sacred within you, a quiet recognition of the divine, not as something external, but as a presence pulsing in your very being. Carl Jung called this the numinous experience, a moment where you sense the holy in the ordinary, not through doctrine, but through an intimate connection with your own soul. As your self emerges through individuation, you start to feel a trembling awe, a hum of reverence. During simple moments like watching a sunset or hearing a song that moves you to tears, you're not just a seeker of the light, you're becoming its vessel. Take Clara, a 42-year-old writer from Los Angeles. One evening, she stood on her balcony, watching a fiery sunset, and an overwhelming sense of peace washed over her. She felt a deep, unexplainable connection to everything: the sky, the breeze, even her own heartbeat. Tears welled up as she realized she wasn't separate from the beauty around her. She was part of it. Carl Jung would say Clara was experiencing the divine within, a moment where her soul recognized its own sacredness. This wasn't about religion, it was about touching the eternal essence that lives in all of us, a spark Carl Jung believed we all carry. You can cultivate this connection by slowing down and seeking out moments of beauty and stillness. Spend time in nature, watch the stars, listen to the ocean, or feel the earth beneath your feet. Let yourself be fully present, without distraction, and notice what stirs within you. Carl Jung taught that the sacred isn't confined to temples. It's born in your devotion to the moment. You might also try a simple practice. Close your eyes. Place a hand on your heart and breathe deeply, asking, what feels holy to me right now? As you tune into this inner sacredness, you'll find a deeper sense of purpose and belonging. Have you felt this quiet, sacred presence within you recently? Let's move to the final sign to see how your soul's journey culminates in becoming your truest self. The ninth and final sign your soul is rising is the realization that you're becoming who you truly are. A journey Carl Jung described as the ultimate privilege of a lifetime. This isn't a straight path, but a spiral, full of challenges, losses, and moments of doubt. Through individuation, you're shedding the masks and expectations that once defined you. Weaving the forgotten fragments of your soul into wholeness, you feel a quiet, unshakable resolve to keep going. Not because it's easy, but because something ancient within you refuses to stay asleep. Carl Jung believed this process isn't about perfection, it's about presence, about returning to your authentic self. Take Ryan, a 31-year-old musician from Nashville. After years of chasing fame to prove his worth, he hit rock bottom when a record deal fell through. In that loss, he found clarity. He'd been performing for others, not for himself. He started writing music that felt true to his soul, even if it didn't fit the mainstream. For the first time, he felt free. Not because he succeeded, but because he was finally living as his true self. Carl Jung would say Ryan was reclaiming his essence, letting go of the persona to embody his unique path. This becoming is a sacred migration back to wholeness, even when the world doesn't understand. To embrace this sign, honor your journey. No matter how messy it feels, reflect on what you've let go of: old dreams, roles, or relationships, and celebrate how they've made space for your true self to emerge. Carl Jung wrote, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." So take a moment to ask, who am I when I stop performing for others? Write down one step you can take to live more authentically. Whether it's speaking your truth or pursuing a long-buried passion, your soul's ascent isn't loud or dramatic. It's a quiet, holy return to you. Which of these signs resonated with you most on your journey? Share in the comments as we wrap up this exploration of your soul's rise. And there you have it, 9 powerful signs that your soul is rising, guiding you back to who you truly are. Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." And this journey, with all its challenges and beauty, is your sacred initiation. From the strange disconnect of your old life to the quiet awe of feeling the divine within, each sign is a whisper from your soul, urging you to shed the masks and step into authenticity. You're not lost, you're awakening. And that's a holy, unstoppable process. So, which of these signs resonated with you most? Are you noticing vivid dreams, craving solitude, or feeling a hunger for deeper meaning? Share your story in the comments. We'd love to hear how your soul is speaking to you. If this video stirred something within you, give it a like. Share it with someone who needs to hear this. And hit that subscribe button with the bell to join Jung's Psyche Hub for more transformative journeys into the psyche. Let's keep walking this path together. Your truest self is waiting. Until next time, honor your soul's rise.